Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the United Stands. And none of you guessed 10:03 for the start time, did you? I could see you all waiting in the wings there in the comment section, guessing what time we'll be up. We are a little bit early. 3 minutes. It's not too bad, is it, for a Saturday morning? Come on. Everyone needs a bit of a weekend, don't they? Everyone needs a bit of a lie-in. Only messing. We have got loads to get into today, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We've got a bit more information from what happened last night live when I was talking regarding Malacia about Lisandro Martinez. We've got a bit more information on that we're going to get into today as well. Eric Bailly, more details on that in terms of his possible move out of Manchester United and Fulham leading the chase for that one. And then we're looking at some other information on the likes of De Jong and how Malacia are actually going to be completed, and hopefully how they are going to end up being on the tour and give us something to watch. I did speak about that last night. That is going to be key, I think, in all of this. And there's a few reports, especially from Samuel Luckhurst from the MEN, regarding who is actually going to be on tour and how United are looking to get things wrapped up and sorted and in place for then. Getting into it, there's only one place to start. That is with Lisandro Martinez. Last night, while I was live, it came through. I think it was David Ornstein who broke the news last night while I was talking regarding the Malacia signing, that United now have really pushed on Aaron in fans talks with Martinez regarding an initial offer, which is in the region of 43 million euros, 37 million pounds. It is thought that Ajax are wanting a little bit more than that. In fact, a very similar bid, what Arsenal have made, has already been turned down. So we're looking at maybe a little bit more than that, possibly 5 million more. I think United are in a better position than Arsenal, going off reports in terms of this deal and what they can do to push that extra bit more on this deal. I think this all leads into, and like I said last night, it's very similar time to like the domino transfer effect of like Eric Bailly going the other way. Will that then just free up that wage? Will that free up that little bit of money to actually go in a little bit more on Martinez? It is very key that everything sort of moves in the same direction. And this is what I said last night in terms of this Martinez deal, in terms of the Malacia deal, things like that. It is a case of, well, when one player is out, another player comes in. It has to be, and we have to look at it as well. You can't have a congested squad. So it's important that Manchester United are not also busy on the incoming side of things. And this is why I think maybe they've brought in this extra pair of hands to help with negotiations, because there's that much to do. Eric Bailly needs to be sorted out. Martinez looks like he's coming in. Malacia's now there. We're dealing with the Frenkie de Jong negotiations. We're not there with talking on his wages or anything yet on that. So we have got an awful lot to get through as of Manchester United. And it looks like I said last night, it's just been simmering and everything's been put into place now. But the big news is obviously today is the Martinez one. There's a lot more people jumping onto this now and a lot more reports coming out. Like I said, then Samuel Luckhurst is all over this one. I'm looking at it as well this morning. Luckhurst is also talking about what Erik ten Hag wants. It's another tweet here on the United Stands Twitter feed, guys, if you want to check it out, which says Manchester United have shortlisted defenders Pau Torres and David Carroll, but Ten Hag favours options affiliated with Ajax or Dutch football. We're going Dutch. Everything is Dutch right now. We're not splitting the bill. We're just getting a very Dutch-related team. That's what's happening right now. I said this. I touched on it a little bit last night when I said Manchester United and Ten Hag, if they're going to work together, I think it does have to be Ten Hag's vision on the pitch, and that's important in the transfers. It does look like Martinez having that affiliation with Ajax and Ten Hag is keen for the way Ten Hag wants to play his football. It's where he wants to go with it, and we are trusting him in this process. By all accounts, Manchester United are really, well, a downbeat, a bit devastated that they didn't manage to get the Jurriën Timber deal. That's seen as a big loss for Manchester United, by all accounts, and that one not going through probably has pushed us, and a lot of people will say, oh, it's a second option again. I don't like second option, but let's be honest, if a player wasn't keen on coming to Manchester United, we've all said it all the time. We just say, look, well, if he's not keen, then why are we even bothering? Why are we even pursuing it? And it does look like Timber has come out and publicly made it clear that it's not a move for him right now. Then move on. This is what we've said we're going to do. We have moved on. It looks like we've done it quite quickly. Obviously, contact between United and Martinez is clear. And with Ajax, we have a good rapport transfer-wise with Ajax. So whenever sort of news like this breaks with United negotiating with Ajax for any type of player, like it was with Ten Hag, with Edwin van der Sar at the other end, I always feel a little bit more confident. And I know you can't just go, and we said it last night, it's like, God, do we actually look anywhere else? I mean, the Donny van der Beek transfer was probably the easiest transfer in Manchester United's history. It just went smooth, perfect. And it does look like whenever we're negotiating with Ajax, it happened with Erik Ten Hag, to be honest. That deal went through smoothly, no animosity. We do have a good rapport with Ajax, and I think that is helping in a certain aspect. Martinez, a lot of people, when you look at it and you break down the player himself, not many people, and a lot of people are watching videos now and trying to get clips, watch some highlights of what Martinez is, what he's like as an Argentinian defender. He obviously is part of the team. He is obviously part of the team that won the league for Ten Hag, one of the main players. Pretty much played every single game last season, apart from towards the back end of the season. I think he missed about 7 games through injury towards the back. So he didn't actually finish the season, the Eredivisie season for Ajax, which is, in some cases, some people may see that as a little bit of a concern. It was the only major injury he had all season. So you've got to look at it and go, well, every player is going to get injured at one point. Is it a concern for you? Another one bringing up, 24 years old, room for improvement, good age for a defender to come through with the experience under this manager. We know we can progress even more. And then we're looking at, he's 5'9" again, very similar in terms of Jurrien Timber, very similar indeed. And I think this is just the way that Ten Hag wants to play his football. We're not looking at big, robust style defenders here. This is how he's not played it with Ajax. It looks like it's the same sort of method he's going to go across with Ajax, and you got to look at it and go, this is the way United are going to play ball now. This is it. And for me, I look at it and go, well, you've got to trust in the manager to actually to make the team play the way he wants to play. Then you're looking at it and you got to go, well, if he wants that type of defender, more of a ball carrying defender, then that's the way we're going to go. We've moaned about like the likes of Lindelof not being strong enough in the air and things like that, but with these big defenders that we've already had, and you'd have thought so many decent headers of the ball, how many goals do we still concede from set pieces? It doesn't really matter with Manchester United. I don't know what it is, but it's time to change, and I think this is the change that everyone is looking at. Super chat in from Anil there. Cheers for the super chat. Breaking: United have bid for Martinez 45 million plus 5 million bonuses. I have seen a few, there was a few people in the comment section there saying there are a few tweets going out there. There are a few stories and a few tweets going about different bids being made. One thing we do know is that Manchester United are in advanced talks with Ajax regarding this sale. So do expect a lot of news to start coming out, because this is moving very, very quickly by all accounts. So you will see tweets coming out. You will see different accounts coming out with information now, I think. From what I've been told this morning, we are expecting a lot of information to come through, and a lot of, well, it's going to be a very busy weekend, which is interesting. And United, like I went back there to with Samuel Luckhurst, looking to get a lot done over these next few days. And I think what's been made clear from reports is Erik Ten Hag wants a lot of these players done and dusted, signed, sealed and delivered, and on that plane to Bangkok for the tour of Asia and Australia. So expect this to be the busiest week. I said this last night. You're going to see loads of stuff coming out constantly now through probably all of today, tomorrow, into next week. There's going to be a lot going on at Manchester United, because let's not forget the team fly out on the 8th. So next Friday, there's less than a week now before the squad fly out over to Bangkok for the start of the tour. So expect, I said it last night, I said I expect at least three players to be on that plane. That's how confident I was last night. I expect at least 3 to be on that plane. And I just think that this is the way that Ten Hag has been since he's come into training. Since he's come in and we've actually seen him around the Carrington training ground, a lot seems to have happened. It seems to have been everything now from pre-season starting properly, like I thought it would do. Everything is starting to move and fall into place. I think this is mainly down to Ten Hag. He wants things moving. He wants things done. He's got a clear vision. We can see it in the type of player he's bringing. We can see it in the way that these transfers are now moving very, very quickly. And not only on that side of it, but also on the fact that we've got these players now like Eric Bailly that has been around for a while now. You know what I mean? It wasn't long ago since he signed a 5-year contract on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It doesn't seem to matter to Eric Ten Hag, and this is a good thing for me. It doesn't seem to care that these players have just signed a deal. It doesn't seem to care that he is a fan's favourite or he has been a stonewall in there and looks like he has been okay and not one of the worst players. It doesn't matter to him. All that matters to Ten Hag is United are in a position where we're not able to compete. We're in a position where we are miles behind the top four, never mind the top two. And the only way it's going to work, if it's going to work for Ten Hag, is if his system's implemented. And that is why we're seeing all this action now, I think. And he wants everything in place for the start of the Premier League season, which is the 7th of August. So let's let him roll with it. Let's enjoy it, because I'm going to be honest, the first part of this summer was pretty dull. But I think now we're going to see exactly what he's going down and what Ten Hag's plan is. I'm just going to read out the tweet actually from Samuel Lucker, so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Manchester United are aiming to finalise the respective signings of both Tyrell Malacia and Frankie de Jong before they fly to Bangkok on Friday for the start of the pre-season tour. This is exactly what I was just saying now and what's important. He wants everything in place. Super chat from Declan. I think it's smart by United allowing other clubs to get a valuation of players, then sweeping in. If United went straight for a player, it's worth 40% of the valuation. It's a very good point. There is an element of a new tactic within the transfer market. Like Declan said there in the super chat, I do agree with that. That is a smart tactic to put in, because Arsenal going in for Martinez, we've seen the sort of groundwork done there by Arsenal in terms of what Ajax are expecting money-wise for this player. We've seen it with Leon, obviously, from Malacia. We've just seen that. We could literally be getting half of our defence through the door for less than 60 million, which effectively isn't bad business. Yes, let's be honest, though. We've got to look at these players and say they're unproven still. We don't know what it's going to be like, but we've got to trust Ten Hag on it. But I do believe that is probably the best ploy in all of this transfer market. We have done it a little bit differently. We weren't happy with it. I wasn't happy with it. I was waiting around. My concern was there wasn't going to be any players left. There wasn't going to be any players left for Manchester United to bring in. It looked like all the targets that we're going to be actually the players that we're actually going to be in for are going to improve us are actually all gone to other clubs. So we're looking at it and we're going, it wasn't great at the start, but now everything is moving. It looks like there is and was actually a tactic within the transfer window. So let's see if it works out, and let's see if we can actually make it work for us for the start of the season. Because although we did have an all right start to last season, I think under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you could say you kind of contradicting yourself there a little bit by saying let's try and be ready for a season, because we did have a good start last season and it just petered away. But this season it just seems to be a totally different outlook on it. And with Ten Hag in place, it just seems like there's going to be a different style of football as well, which is very interesting. And I look at it and I go, okay, are we going to see opening day a Ten Hag team? That's all I want to see. It's just got to be Ten Hag's team. Nothing on anyone else that, like Harry Maguire coming in, still the captain, still playing the same lethargic style football. I want it to be completely different. This is why it's so exciting now, seeing what's happening now. But you've got to look at it and you've got to go, now I'm going to get into this bit of the show. Now I want to move across to players that should be leaving the football club. There's still a lot to do. I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, Eric Bailly, I've said it last night. I thought Eric Bailly was a defender that deserved a chance, but obviously something's gone on behind the scenes. Fulham are now in Obviously, we've seen the report last night. It's the same stories coming out this morning. They want an initial season-long loan for Eric Bayer, and then with a option to buy. I think United need to make that option to buy stick. To be honest, I think United need to be putting something in this in terms of making sure that when the season ends, Fulham have to commit in some way, shape, or form. Because it's all right sending these players out on loan, but then we're going to have the same sort of scenario next summer for Ten Hag when we have the likes of this summer, for instance, Donny van der Beek coming back, Ahmad, Palestra, all these players coming back, and it's just too much to handle. I know we've been in a better position because he's been in the job a lot longer, been in obviously a full season ahead, but you got to look at it and you've got to go. I think right now with this new tactic that we're sort of setting out, yeah, I understand the loan bit. I wasn't happy that Dean Henderson wasn't given the buyout option. I don't know where the club is going with that at all. Honestly, De Gea's going nowhere now. He's got years to go, and Dean Henderson wants to be a number one. So why haven't we just sold it? Didn't agree with that. Eric Bayer, I do think we need to sell rather than loan out. It's quite clear that he's never going to play for Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag putting him straight on the transfer list as soon as he's walked in. He's pretty much done the same as the previous managers before at United. So there is a problem there with Eric Bayer. Don't know what it is or what's happened, but it is quite clear that he is a problem within the club. So honestly, I believe that we need to thin the squad out, and the loans, yeah, I understand what they do, but for a player like Bayer, I don't think that's going to prosper Manchester United, except if Fulham are going to take his wage completely, which I can't see. So let's sell. Why don't we sell? Easier said than done, I know. Tap forward the super chat. Adam, what do you think of Ethan Galbraith? I'm just going to go through a few of your super chats now, guys, as well. More play. I mean, to be honest, mate, they impressed last season. They impressed a lot last season, the youth team, and a lot of the players that went out on loan didn't so much pull up trees. I think there's room for youth players this season because I said it last night. The squad needs to be balanced, but I think balanced with players that Ten Hag is bringing in and youth players. So Galbraith, the likes of Galbraith, the likes of, like I said yesterday, Fernandez at left back, another left back. Then you're looking at Jimmy Garner coming back. You're looking at the likes of Garnacho up front. There's a lot of United young players there. You got Laird, Mengi coming back. I mean, Axel's still here. I think he's another one on the list. I want to get your opinions on him as well in a minute. So, do you know what I mean? This is where we're at. It needs to be balanced with players who want to play for the club and youth players, in my opinion. That's what I would say on that one, pal. And hopefully they'll get a chance in this pre-season. I'm looking forward to seeing a few youth players, I would say, on that one. Declan back in with another super chat. Cheers for that, buddy. Where do you see Rashford in this team? Can't see him no more than his back-up versatile forward. What's your opinion, Adam? Back-up versatile forward. I mean, by that, do you mean on the left or in the central? Because we were reading reports the other day that Rashford's team, on what you want to make of that, I don't know. Rashford's team see him playing down the centre. Someone asked me on last night, do you see Anthony Martial coming back and being a standing forward for Cristiano Ronaldo this season? Just we spend the money elsewhere and get the squad strengthened. There's not many forwards available to us right now. Does Martial or Rashford come in and be a reserve for a season for Ronaldo, say, for instance? You could look at it that way. I think, personally, I see that myself. I don't see them starting. I don't see either Rashford or Martial starting above Elanga. They're going to have to prove themselves. They're going to have to show something, is what I would say with them two. That's what I would say. A lot of people there saying Rashford should just go, Martial should just go. He's always made it clear at one point that he didn't want to be available under Ralph Rangnick. We all remember that conversation. But you got to also look at it and go, well, under Ten Hag, does everyone deserve a chance? I mean, you never know. We've seen what both of these players can do. Will Ten Hag get more out of them? I don't see them starting though, and I don't think they should start. That's my opinion. I think they deserve to be waiting to try and earn their place back in. They don't come in ahead of Elanga at the moment for me, or Sancho, or Ronaldo. So they're going to have to fight it out for them 3 spots, in my opinion. And then let's not forget, you've got the likes of Donny van der Beek coming back. You've got Garnacho, who will be pushing into that front line at some point. and they're just going to have to prove themselves more. With them being on the wages that they're on, I think it's going to be interesting. I think Manchester United will look at it now and go, well, it's quite clearly under Ten Hag, he's not bothered about who plays in what position. If he wants someone else for that position, he's going to ask for it, like he's done with Malacia last night. We talked about Luke Shaw as one of the players. Yeah, he didn't perform brilliantly last season, a lot of people's opinions, but still, he was down as one of them players that you thought, you know what, you could possibly get another season out of. He had a great Euros, but right now, no, you wouldn't. You would look at it and go, poor season. And Ten Hag has come straight in and gone, you know what, I need a player for that. I don't think I can trust Luke Shaw, quite clearly. Otherwise, he would have been looking in other areas of this team where we didn't need, where we weren't short on numbers. Because, like I said last night, left back, we literally are covered in all angles. We've got so many players at left back. So let's look at it as a positive, as like I said last night. Ten Hag is looking at this and going, doesn't matter who's playing where, don't matter what you've done before. This is how I want to go. So let's do it. I've missed the super chat there. Sorry, guys. If we have missed it, just flying through quickly at the moment. I'll check double back on it. What do you guys think about the likes of Axel Tuanzebe? You know what I mean? What do you think about Menga? What do you think about Ethan Laird? Players like this that are on loan at the moment. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going, still, I think that there's possibilities there. And I think this is why the pre-season tour is key. Or do you think United should just use it like what Chelsea do? Do we start actually earning money from the youth players? If they're not going to come in or not be given a chance, do we cash in on them while we can? Malik there says, it's not a new United if Maguire is still captain. I did just touch on that a moment there in terms of how I want this season to start and what I want to see come the start of the season. It will be interesting. Obviously, next week, Harry Maguire returns from his pre-season break along with all the other international players. You've got to look at it and go, that conversation is going to have to be had. Probably looking at Ten Hag and the way he's operating so far, you're going to go, well, let's have a sit down and let's sort this out straight away, because he's been very efficient with his work so far. He's made it very clear. The players are obviously, like we said yesterday, coming out of training thinking, wow, this is a different ball game altogether, which is good. It's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a reaction from the players. If it be good or bad, I don't care. We need to see what players actually want to be here. So that captaincy at Manchester United is key. I don't think, me personally, I would take it right off Harry Maguire. Most people I've spoke to are of the same sort of mind, thinking Harry Maguire might actually turn into an all right defender again if he hasn't got that captaincy. Do we need to be giving him responsibilities? Because let's look at it. When Harry Maguire became captain, this is when all the problems started for him. He had an all right first season. I'm not going to take that away from him and be blinded by that and what happened last year. But this is the problem. When you've got characters and leaders and winners of the type of Ronaldo coming into your team, Rafael Varane, then Harry Maguire, all of a sudden, the mindset automatically changes, doesn't it? It is one of more fear of like, and you can say, yeah, he's got a personality to handle it. No one should be scared of any player coming into the club, but experience counts. Experience counts and winning counts. And at Manchester United, if the standards are set from yesteryear with the likes of Ronaldo, and he's coming, he's saying something, the likes of Varane, it's like, shows your medals as such. We've won this, we've experienced this. It must be harder for a man. And I think the pressure just got to Harry Maguire after all. And I do think that we will be changing captaincy this year. I do believe that. I think it will be Ronaldo, but it'd be really interesting. It'd be really interesting to see come start the season who Manchester United's captain is. I think that's one subject that everyone is looking at. Zane is back. Where was you last night, Zane? Missed you. Cheers for the super chat, mate. Maguire, how will he cope with Jesus this season? Samba time. Well, if anything, Zane, I wonder what he was going on about then, but you're just bigging up Jesus as this big signing. He's taking a step down going to you, mate. That's all you need to know. But how will Harry Maguire cope with Jesus this season? Zane wants to know, guys. I think I'll answer it the same way. Well, If, in fact, we get Martinez, you know, that player that now wants to come to us and not go to you, Zane, and he partners Varane next season, which is what it will be, then we won't have to worry about Harry Maguire, will we, mate? I think that answers your question straight out there, pal. And I think they'll handle Jesus just fine, mate. Just fine. Bit of Argentinian grit on your Brazilian flair. See you later. No problem. Is De Jong going to Chelsea or Manchester United? I'm just going to read up on this one now and just nip across to this. Agreement with Frankie de Jong is more than close since Monday between Manchester United and Barcelona. 65 million fixed, 20 million add-ons. Structure to be discussed and personal terms. He has just got engaged. Frankie de Jong is coming to Manchester United. That was a previous quote that we just put back up there on United Stand this morning on Twitter from Fabrizio Romano. It is still happening, guys. Yes, don't worry. There was them reports last night about Chelsea coming in, but I made my thoughts clear on what I thought was happening last night with Chelsea. It would be Chelsea just testing the water, I think. A new owner at Chelsea wanting to flex a little bit of muscle, but I think, like I said last night, the Ten Hag factor in all of the Frankie de Jong negotiations is key. It's massive. So I think that's why Frankie's definitely, I'm confident. I said last night, if it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer negotiating for Frankie de Jong and United this summer, I would be worried. But with it being Ten Hag and that lure that he's got and this new project, I'm more confident. Zane is boisterous tonight. This morning, sorry. Ronaldo took a step down when he joined you. Did he now? Well, still scored more goals than any of your forwards last season, did he not? So personally, he'd already won everything, mate. Yeah, and his career is coming to an end. You're talking about Jesus, whose career apparently is just getting going now. He's going to Arsenal. No, mate. Not having that one, pal. But yeah, Ronaldo took a step down and still got in the top 3 leading goal scorers in the league. That's what a quality player is, mate, right there. That's the quality player. Alexander with another super chat. Cheers for this one. But do you believe Ten Hag will put United in the top 4? Will he put United in the top 4? Honestly, and cheers, David, for your super chat as well. David Kennedy. Thanks very much, mate. If you want to pop another message on that one next time, mate, I don't know if you wanted to say anything, but there's no message come up there, pal. But yeah, cheers for that one, mate. Will Ten Hag take United to the top 4? It all depends on the signings. I said this all along, Alexander. It is a case of, I think now, if United get 4 or 5 players in, I'll be a little bit more confident because I'm looking at the work and like tongue in cheek with Zane there in terms of Jesus and Arsenal and the work they're doing. They did finish stronger than us last season. They were better than us last season and have improved more so far this summer. Same with Spurs. Chelsea are the only ones that haven't really got any stronger so far this summer. They're losing players and no one's come in yet. That will change, obviously. But if you would say to me, right, City, Liverpool gone, dusted, then you've got Chelsea. If they do sign them 6 players that their new owner says they're going to buy, then it will be hard for us to actually overcome them. So we're looking at Chelsea as part of the top 3 that we're probably not going to be able to catch. Well, possibly they may sneak into it. Arsenal and Spurs are the ones we have to catch first. I'm confident we can do that. Spurs have improved. They've got a great manager. Arsenal have improved. I still don't believe in Arteta. I don't think he will take them to where they want to go. Honestly, it's Spurs that we need to catch. If we can get ahead of Spurs, then we're not going to be far away from Chelsea. Then we've got half a chance. It just depends how quickly I think this season starts for us and how well we start this season. And that's what's important. But I think if we do get, I would say, we've got Malacia, we get Frankie de Jong, we get Martinez, probably Ericsson, maybe one more added to it with the youth that's coming through, and they all get on board with Ten Hag's vision and the way we're going to play. We have definitely got a chance. I've said probably prioritise Europa League as a big one, as a backdoor entrance to the Champions League this season as well. I think definitely with the size of the squads we've got now and how many subs we can use in all these competitions, we can definitely, I think, prioritise Europa League. Some people may not be happy with that, but I do believe that if Ten Hag can win the Europa League in his first season, mission accomplished. That'll be a great season. David Kennedy has come back in with another one. Cheers for that, buddy. Watch the video of Frankie de Jong playing for Ajax versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. He destroyed Madrid's midfield. I think everyone has seen that video now. It is impressive. That was the ultimate Ajax team, wasn't it? That was the team that got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. The ones that were beaten in injury time, was it Spurs? Otherwise, they would be in a final. That was the dream team there then of Ajax, and Frankie was the linchpin. He was the main man. Donny played his part, and we thought we were getting a deal at the time when we got Donny in, but let's be honest, it was all about Frankie de Jong. That was his season, and I was impressed myself. I was. Cheers for that super chat, mate. Another super chat. What youth players do you see making a lot of appearances this season? Also, big up to you, Adam. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. What youth players? I did say Fernandez at left back, but now that Malassi has come in, I'm sort of thinking, okay, maybe not quite. But then again, I'm thinking Europa League. Like I said, 5 subs. We should see a lot more appearances, because Ten Hag is going to demand a lot more, and we're going to need a lot more players, I think, this season. So, in terms of youth players, I think Garnacho is a possibility. We still don't know how Jimmy Garner is going to come back and perform over pre-season, whether he's going to be a part to play with him. So, I would look at possibly Garnacho getting game time. I would expect to see Fernandez at some point as well. I don't think Menga is going to get a chance with everything that's going on. Laird at right back is interesting. I know he's not had a great time at Bournemouth. Didn't go quite as he wanted it to go. I thought that would have been a really good move for Ethan Laird. But honestly, I think depending on pre-season, that's what it is. It's all about the pre-season now and who performs. Hopefully. Because you've still got the likes of Ahmad and Palestri coming back in, and he's got to deal with all of that. I'm not calling them youth players, but they are of the actual sort of like same young type of player. So we have to say it, don't we? Have to say it. So I think they're the ones more, say Garnacho, possibly Garner if the preseason goes well, mate. But yeah, that is it. Let me just double check on everything else here that's coming through. People are saying that Laurie Whitwell has just updated as well on Twitter about a certain situation. I'm just going to read one out now, actually. It's just come through onto the United Stand Twitter feed as well, guys. So you know exactly where to read this from. Just click across there. Manchester United feel they have edged ahead of Arsenal as favourites for Lisandro Martinez. The player has yet to make a decision because no agreement has yet been reached with Ajax, and he is still on holiday. Said these players now all coming back on Monday. That's when the players will be back. I expect a lot to happen by then. So you get your Frankie de Jongs back, your Martinez's will be back. All the players are back from their pre-season international duties. Come the start of this week. By the end of the week, we go out on tour. Strap yourself in for a crazy week is what I'm saying. That's it. That's Laurie Whitwell and David Ornstein on that one. It does look like with the people that are reporting on this now for Martinez especially, which is what we opened up the show with, that it is moving towards Manchester United. It is moving in a direction that United are front runners now. I think this all started moving when United found out that, like I said, Timber was completely off. Timber was completely off the table. I think they were disappointed in that, so they've moved fast, and I think this is why this one has come very quickly. So I expect this to be a massive week for United. Not only, like I said, because we're going on tour by the end of the week, but I think Ten Hag wants players in place, in situ, and integrated fully in by the time Manchester United kick off their first game against Liverpool, which I think is the 12th or 13th. So that's it. The season pretty much is here. It's upon us. This is where we're going. Pre-season starts next week. They're off on tour on Friday. I think more players will be in by then. I'm going to say De Jong, Malacia, 100% on the tour with Manchester United. That's how confident I am with that. If it dragged out a little bit with Martinez, with negotiations, I could see him just flying out another date to see us on tour. and possibly Eriksen in them in that as well, because I think right now the players are looking to get will be looking, especially like Eriksen, will be looking to kickstart now. He's had his rest, everything is in place. He's a free agent. I expect that to move while we're on tour, or even before tour, like I said, next week. United could be coming back off tour ready for the start of the season with 4 new players in their squad. That's what I will say. I think they're all easily doable right now, going off reports which are coming out from all the main media outlets as well. But guys, that is it. That's pretty much where we are up to date right now with everything. Martinez looking good. Obviously, Malacia just finalising them deals next week, along with Frankie de Jong before we fly out on tour. Eric Bailly looks set to fly out, not on tour, but down to London. He will, because he's got loads of money. And that's where we're at. Interesting to see what happens with a few United players next week as well, the likes of Axel, Phil Jones. Obviously, we're looking at Pereira possibly going to Fulham as well. So keep an eye on all of them next week. We will keep you updated as always. Mark will be back later on today as well, guys, from his adventures down in London. So tune into the United Stand later. And if anything does break through the day, we'll be all over it as always and keep you updated and posted. But for now, guys, that is it. Give the video a like, share, and obviously subscribe to the United Stand. I will see you over the weekend and then through next week before we head out on tour. And the season is round the corner, people. I will catch you then. Have a good one. Have a good weekend, everyone. See you later.